The death of Robin Williams has put a real sadness into the entertainment world. He was a very talented man. He proved he could do comedy as well as drama. I mean, when he was funny, he was very funny. And when he was dramatic, he was very dramatic. He's been nominated for an Oscar so many times to finally winning an Oscar in 1998 for his role in Good Will Hunting. But with all those hits has to come your share of bad films. I mean, every big name star has made their share of bad films. Even Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Two talented guys, but they've made their share of flops. Does anybody even want to remember 88 Minutes of Righteous Kill? I don't want to remember those. But that being said, Robin Williams has made his share of bad films. Would I consider Death to Smoochy a bad film? No. Would I consider it a great film? No. I consider it in between. It's entertaining, but nothing spectacular. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who would think this movie is funny, and a bigger majority would consider this movie a big flop. I guess I'm sort of in the minority. Please don't hate me. Death to Smoochy stars Robin Williams as Randolph, who has his own kid show titled Rainbow Randolph. But it is instantly disgraced when he is caught by the FBI taking a money bribe. I guess he's done this so many times for the FBI to get involved. He is quickly replaced by Sheldon, played by Edward Norton, who has his own entertainment animal titled Smoochy, which he dresses up at drug treatment centers, sings to them, and hopes to lift their spirits, and they decide to make a children's show out of him. Randolph, feeling the rhino has stole his spotlight, plots revenge on Smoochy. And there's other stuff in between that I'd rather not get into because there's so much more to this movie than what I just said. If you have not watched the movie, I'm just not going to spoil it for you. Would I recommend this movie? Well, I don't know if it's for a much really younger crowd. I mean, maybe this is if you're not into black comedies, I don't think you're going to like this movie. I'm really amazed that I like it, because some stuff in this movie I would usually find offensive, but I guess it was the comedic talents of Robin Williams, Edward Norton, and Danny DeVito, who's in the movie and also directed, and not to mention Jon Stewart and Catherine Keener. They all make this movie work. I mean, Robin Williams is in the movie, and any moment he's in, he milks it for all it's worth, but this movie's really an ensemble. And they all make it work perfectly. But is this a movie? Would I call this an Oscar movie? No, I wouldn't. It's just a typical black comedy. It never tries to be anything more than what it is. And there's a scene involving a cookie. And from what I heard from the commentary from Danny DeVito, that he did have a talk with the parents of the kids who are in that scene. And what also amazes me about that scene is that Edward Norton's reaction. It looked all too real, to the point where I'm like thinking, did he see the cookie before doing the scene? Or maybe Danny DeVito didn't want him to see the cookie before the scene because they wanted his reaction to be all too real. Well, nonetheless, maybe I'm stretching a bit. Well, if you're into black comedies, I would say this movie's for you. And if you're not into those type of movies, I would suggest you avoid this movie. I wouldn't call it one of Robin Williams' best films, but I certainly wouldn't call it his worst films. I would consider it an underrated film. I mean, like I said, he's made some share of bad films. I wouldn't consider this one of them, no. No, I wouldn't. It's a film you can just enjoy and just turn your brains off and just have a good laugh. That's all Death to Smoochy is. Even Smoochy, I think, is a send-up of Barney, just they look almost surprisingly similar. So I give Death to Smoochy an 8 out of 10. And we'll always remember you, Robin. You've made us laugh. See ya.